Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are going to be talking about the mini HasLab for Mephisto. And I'm saying it's a HasLab because it's like this made-to-order type of thing, where it's not really a HasLab. It's going to get made, apparently, regardless. Even if one person bought it, they'd probably come up with some way to get out of that, but it's going to happen. So it's not really a HasLab, but it's not going to ever see retail release, at least in this form. So it's kind of like the Dragon Man we just reviewed. And I know you guys like having me do videos about this kind of stuff, more controversial topics, especially as it pertains to Hasbro Marvel Legends. So I figured, let's make some money. No, I figured we should talk about it because I want to help the community. Well, both. I like to do both. Why can't I do both? So, Mephisto. I'll do this right away because I always get this. This is a big topic, like with Maximum Spider-Man, with all these other things. Are you going to get it? And I usually say, yes, I have to review things. It's my job to review things. I will bite the bullet and get it. And in this case, it's no different. No, it is different. I'm not getting this crap. There's no freaking way I'm spending 80 bucks on this. I'm not doing it. I won't review it. I refuse to review this figure. It does not deserve to be purchased, even by a reviewer. This is just a bridge too far. And I'm guessing most people aren't even questioning it. I'm guessing it's not as big a deal as any of the other controversial things, but for me, it's even more. I'm going to talk about why. So let's go ahead and get into that. The first thing I'll mention is the price point. It's 80 bucks. It's $80. And that's just under a quarter of what the Engine of Vengeance cost. Okay, that's the car that didn't, the HasLab that didn't go. Nobody wanted it. And it was going to come with the car, and what was it? Did it end up being 3 figures? No, it was going to be 4 figures. It was going to be the naked guy, the booby lady, red demon guy, and Ghost Rider guy. So 4 figures in a car for $350. So this guy was one of the 4 figures. Now he costs a quarter of the whole thing without a car. But wait, you say, he comes with a chair. He does. We're going to talk about that. So just for frame of reference, it's just under a quarter. It's closer to a fifth, I guess. It's like right in between. So it's pretty expensive, 80 bucks. Now this guy, we have his height. They show us how big he is. They show us how big he is up against Spider-Man. They show us how big he is with actual measurements. He's not anything special. He's shorter than Colossus. At one point in time, Marvel Legends didn't charge more for slightly taller figures. Especially if they were gangly and skinny like this. It's almost the same thing as making a regular release. And, you know, not just one point. All of the points in time prior to recently, this guy would have been a standard release, bar none. Like, just super straightforward. Put him in a package, he's a little tall and skinny, he costs a little more to make, we'll offset that with some more crappy figures that are smaller, or that cost less, whatever. Okay, so let's just say he's a $25 figure. Standard Marvel Legends price. Alternate head, some hands, okay, great. But he does come with some alternate cape and underwear. It's not just the plastic versions, you get cloth versions. Alright, so fine, fair enough. That's a little bit above and beyond. So I'll say he's a $30 figure. He gets an extra $5 for those 2 crappy pieces of clothing, which we'll talk about briefly right now. We'll see how they look when they actually come out, of course. We don't know. We've only seen Comic-Con stuff or pre-sale photos, whatever, that kind of renderings. Maybe they look great, but as far as I can tell, they're not going to be wired, so they're going to hang flat and look like crap. It'll be helpful for him being on his throne, but it's still going to look like junk, and you'll need custom ones if you want them to look good. But I'll say they add $5 of value. So let's say he's a $30 figure, okay? We have $50 left to spend. And we get the chair and the sword. The sword counts as nothing because it's an accessory. Figures get accessories sometimes from Hasbro, so I'm not adding value to that. So we get the chair. Is it some big giant chair like for Shao Kahn where it costs a ton of money because it's actually humongous and is going to take up more than a shelf on your cabinet? Nope. It's also very small. Is it relatively well detailed? I guess. On the back side, it looks okay. On the front where he sits, which granted he'll be sitting most of the time if you're going to use the throne, it looks unpainted and cheap. And we know it's going to be cheap. It's not going to be some hugely intricate fancy piece. It's going to be a Hasbro product. Even a good Hasbro product, it doesn't have a certain level of appeal that justifies $50 for a hunk of hollow plastic. Like, it's not even close. It's not big enough to justify it. There's not enough detail to justify it, sculpt or paint-wise. It is barely good. It's just good enough to have if it doesn't cost too much. But of course, we know it costs too much because it's $50 freaking to add the chair. Why, you ask? Are they doing this? Well, I can explain why. I mean, this is my opinion. You guys can tell me if you think I'm wrong. Plenty of you are happy to do that, but we're going to do it anyway. So, here's what I think happened. They tried to use him to screw everybody over with the car of garbage. Okay, and that didn't work. People were wise enough to not do that. But it almost worked because people really wanted Mephisto. And they've been talking about him ever since. So Hasbro's like, well, how else can we use this character that people really, really want to really bend them over a barrel and get as much out of their pockets as possible? Well, we can't just release it as a normal figure because it'll just cost as much as a normal figure and people will be done. So how do we do that? How do we get them to pay an extra $50? Let's put a hollow piece of plastic with minimal paint applications in the box with it. That'll give them a reason to think it's worth more, and we'll charge $80 for a standard Marvel Legends figure with an accessory. And, I mean, I'm seeing plenty of people who are excited about this. Not just the character, because I get that. If you want the character, I fully understand you being excited about him getting a figure. But guys, $80? This, I think, is the worst value Hasbro's ever presented. Other than maybe that Electro figure, but I didn't look at that up close because I didn't care. I think this is worse than the HasLabs. I think this is worse than Dragon Man by a lot. Like, not even close. And worse than the HasLabs by a lot. I think the Engine of Vengeance is a reasonable price compared to this. That had lights, it had interchangeable parts, it was a full-size car, it had a top and bottom even. I think they said something like that, I don't remember. There's a lot going on there, at least, and 4 figures. Granted, it was overpriced and didn't make it, and I think it shouldn't have. But this is just absurd. There's no way this is even close to reasonable for $80. I don't care what BS they're spinning, and that's not even to talk about the figure. It doesn't look good. The head sculpt's fine, the body sculpt is bad. He's supposed to be skinny, sure, but it doesn't look organic or natural at all. It's like the worst of the styling of Marvel Legends, for all the different body groups all put into one thing. And if you're asking me, which you are by watching this, I think the renders for him back when he was with the car look way better than what they're showing now. I mean, it's mostly the same thing, but they still look better because the coloring was different. So to me, okay, it's a popular character, I get it, but it doesn't even look like a good figure. And it's overpriced as hell, like beyond imagination. I find this to be the most absurdly overpriced thing they've done for Marvel Legends. I don't think it's even remotely reasonable. So, this is going to be a shorter one than they normally are for this sort of topic. There's not that much else to cover. He's a basic Marvel Legends figure. Sure, taller than the average Spider-Man, but that doesn't mean much. It doesn't come with anything special, really, other than a couple of pieces of clothing and a giant chair. But giant as in like giant pile of garbage, because it's not that big, it's not that detailed, and it costs an extra $50. Even if you want to be generous and say he's $35, which is absurd on its own, the chair is still $45. Nope, I can't justify it. I will not buy this. I will not review it. I don't care how popular it is. There's nothing even for me to say. Like, unless something drastically changes, which it's not going to happen, I will be saying the exact same thing in the review. There's nothing for me to show you, because he's not going to be like, oh, he's the best posing Spider-Man or something like that. He's just sitting in a chair, or sitting on top of the chair doing a crouchy pose. Like, great, who cares? He's lanky, of course he can do that. It's the bare minimum of action figure articulation. So yeah, there's nothing for me to even review. Maybe I'll re-upload this this at the time. I don't know, I'm joking, but it's like, no, I'm done with this. I'm not buying it. I don't think anybody should buy it. I think Hasbro is just, they're using people to an absurd degree at this point, and I think people should stop doing it. It's not helping the people doing it. It's not helping the action figure industry. It's certainly not helping the Marvel Legends brand. We are not seeing improvements in their innovation, in articulation, in paint, in anything. Well, I guess in paint they finally made the faces look decent, but now they're whatever, uncanny valley. So yeah, nope, not buying it. Don't think it's worth it at all, and that's it for me. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, but I'll stop talking. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down, and if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos just about every single day, and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that, and in the meantime, keep collecting.